What's going on, guys? Nadeska here for Complex News, hanging out with the one and only Chris Brown. Thanks for inviting us to your crib.
Thank you for coming.
Yo, so to be honest, like I was telling you earlier, I thought this was gonna be one of those like huge minimalist mansions where you walk in and you're scared you're just gonna dirty everything.
Yeah, nah.
But it really feels like living in a contemporary pop museum.
Oh, that's kind of dope. I like how you put that together.
Because I'm still just trying to cop a piece of art before I leave. That's really
I
weird.
got a couple canvases in the back. I got you.
Excellent. So you're about to release your new documentary, Welcome to My Life. Now, you say at the beginning of the documentary you feel sometimes that your career is overshadowed by negativity, but you open up a lot in this doc. You're very vulnerable. Was any of it difficult to record?
The process was, because, you know, throughout the transition of us filming it took like maybe a 2-year process. But, you know, I was incarcerated. I had different things that were kind of like my trials and tribulations while I tried to, you know, showcase my life. That was the hardest part, you know, because it was reality. It was real. None of this is like fabricated or etched to make you feel a certain way. It's just raw.
But why did you feel like now is the right time to release it? You could have dropped this in 2019 if you wanted to.
You know, I'm 28 now, so I think at this point in my career, I've been blessed to have the longevity that I've had and still, you know, making music and people actually still listening. You know, so I think the actual story of the new fans and the generation that are coming up and still listening to my new stuff as new fans, you know, they get a chance to understand the experience, and everybody goes through similar situations in every way. Nobody's blessings are better or greater. Everybody has their own truth. So it's just about being human.
So once it's out, people do see this vulnerable side of you. You have music coming out soon. You just wrapped a tour. You do have a lot going on.
Yeah.
How do you maneuver in terms of public perception?
I think my focus is to evoke emotion. You know, my focus is to make people be inspired. So when I do music now, that's my goal. I can only depict the stories that I've been through. So a lot of my songs tie into my actual reality in my life.
Yo, in the doc, it's really interesting. A lot of people, like some who have been mentors to you, speak, and Jamie Foxx said something that I thought was really interesting. He said, God blesses you with this immense talent, but when you're so talented and fame comes along, of course there's some darkness with it. So how are you able to balance the fun and success of your career with some of the darker aspects of it?
It has to be good and the bad, because you have to find yourself, you have to grow up. I had to be mature, I had to understand who I wanted to be and be okay with looking at myself before I was looking at the person that I created as an artist. You know, I would look in the mirror and say, all right, I don't like this about me, but I can like it a little bit better tomorrow. You know, as far as the passion and the art that I do now, it's only to inspire more. And hopefully it'll be a guy out here that can really take me off the map with his dancing. You know, so you have to be able to grow and pass the torch, or be able to embrace change.
As we grow up, we make mistakes. We're all human, right? It happens.
Yeah.
You learn and you grow from your mistakes. It's just harder. I honestly can't imagine. I would never want to deal with the scrutiny that you have to face. When you're famous, everyone feels like they have access to you and your life and opinions.
Yeah.
So how do you have to learn to deal with it when that microscope is on you?
It took me a while, you know, because you really, as much as we artists like to say, I don't care about what you're saying.
You're all sensitive people.
We're
you have feelings, you're creatives.
So we look through the comments, we do all of that. So as far as me being older and more experienced now, and just seeing that that's what it's gonna be, like everybody's not gonna like you, everybody's not gonna love you, but as far as me, I look at it now as cool. Well, they're gonna watch.
Can I teach you the #1 rule of the internet?
Tell me.
Do not read the comments.
Nah, I like reading the comments. It'd be fun. Sometimes I like flaring their ass up. Like,
nah.
Sorry.
No.
You got to. Like, I like roasting and everything. So
it's just hard because when people...
You engage in your own negativity, I would just say.
Yeah, don't do it. When it's faceless...
You know what you're doing. Yeah, you know what you're going to get yourself into, so don't do the shit.
So you're signing up for what you're going into. Okay. Yeah. So being a megastar aside, which you've been for such a long time, just Chris Brown, the human. How do you feel? Are you happy? Are you enjoying life right now?
I'm comfortable internally. My daughter has brought a lot of different aspects out of me that I never really could like grasp, even like precaution and those duties that I used to hate. Like when my parents used to try to, you know, imply on me, man, am I corny? Am I the dad now? Like, it showed me how to become more of a man. Like, and I have a little daughter, so if I had a son, I'd be like, all right, man, come here. It'd be different. My daughter.
That's why you got a daughter. It always happens.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm not gonna let all these people around her. How is she all right? Like,
wait till she turns into a teenager. You're in trouble, bro.
It's gonna be crazy. You hear that? She turns into a teenager. I don't care who y'all is. I'm gonna catch a charge for that.
Especially all these artists who hang around. You just finished the party tour, you have the doc coming, actually, and an album, but at the end of the doc, you played us a new song, right? Is this gonna be on the project?
Yeah, well, this song is one of the songs we tied into the actual movie. Andrew Listerman, who's been on the team with Riveting and who put the project together, they actually brought the record to me, and it was more of a sensational piece for the ending of the movie. So it kind of just brings the reality back to what the movie is about. I think Welcome to My Life was just a perfect depiction of, where I'm at now.
So this next album, Heartbreak on a Full Moon.
Yes.
What an epic title.
Yeah, and so it's like, it's that superstition around it, but imagine like the sorrows or pain of going through just life. Just having to do it alone, or having to, feel not always as peachy. But sometimes it's just an embodiment of everything. So I just thought Heartbreak on a Full Moon was a depiction of like what my soul wanted to say. It's funny because we doing a double album.
40 songs.
Yeah, I've done so many records, but all of the records are, to me, are personal favorites, and I feel like it gets what I want to say across, and it gets just, it gets a vibe, and you get a nostalgia, or you get a sense of individuality, of having fun. Like, damn, I really fuck with this nigga shit. So like certain songs that are on the album might be songs I just did or songs that I've had, but it's for me, it's always refreshing. It's like a basketball player working on his jump shot. By the time he gets in his rhythm, he's not gonna count how many jumpers he shot. He just gonna be like, okay, this is my routine. So it's like when I go in the studio, I just try to work as much as I can, get hair beat if somebody sent an idea, and I constantly work with my team. So, and then I let other writers in, I let young producers. I don't get into the stigma of working with just top people just because they got a #1 on the radio.
Yeah.
I think individuality and substance lacks now in our music. So not that like out people, because I'm a jam to the ignorant shit too. You feel me? Like, but at the same time, it's an open lane. So once they get to hear this, they know my diversity, and they know how, like, you'll hear the overseas records, or you hear the top 40 records, or what you call them, and then you'll hear classic R&B, like, man, I missed it, or then you'll hear, okay, he turning up. So I wanted to give my audience a wide range of different styles, but also still depicting Heartbreak on a Full Moon.
Who did you actually work with for this project?
Obviously Gucci and Usher on Party.
Obviously.
I got Wayne on a couple of different things. I ain't really called in no favors. I really wanted to kind of like give you all of me on this album.
Yeah.
It's good for sometimes to have certain collaborations, but for me to really like carry my own torch and my own weight as a guy.
At this point in your career, is there anyone, not just for this project specifically, but that you still want to work with that you haven't had a chance to?
At this point, it's all about, and not to say it like funny, but it's all about trying to do some legendary shit. So obviously the top female performer is Beyonce. So for me, that would be epic if we did some dope dance shit. Just for the culture, and it has nothing to do with nothing. Just for the culture.
Well, one, let me just say, the culture would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Number two, in a dance-off, Chris Brown or Beyonce. Think about this one.
She gonna represent though.
But you think you're gonna beat her?
Nah, she gonna do her thing, but I'm gonna do my thing too though.
That was a really diplomatic. That was a diplomatic answer.
We're not political.
I see what you did
just honest.
there.
She dope, and I'm dope.
I see what you did there. Thinking back now, especially watching the beginning of the doc, like little Chris just breaking out, calling your mom, you're so excited to hear your first song on the radio.
Yeah.
Is this where you imagined that you would be in your career?
I used to take it for granted, but now I wake up and I'm happier because I was like, I'm still getting platinum plaques at 28. So for me, it's more of a eye-opener and a humbling experience. It's not arrogance. It's not me like, oh man, I've been doing it. Like, nah, it's more like, yo, cool, thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm here. Like,
where would you like to see yourself? Is there any other big milestones you would love to hit outside of just music?
Well, I mean, I'm starting to dabble back into film and television, and I love the theatrical side about music videos. I think we lack that substance. But we lack the budgets too from my label.
Yeah, things have changed a lot.
It's changed a lot. So with me, I always add my own money or whatever it is to make my videos top notch, just for the culture itself. It's not just to one-up anybody else. A lot of my dance stuff and everything else is inspired. I like to showcase every aspect of it. I like to have a narrative, you know, because that's our mini movies.
Yeah.
You know, we can create our own worlds within our videos.
That's what we grew up on.
Yes.
And just before we go, what's good with my artwork? I just want you to say on camera.
I'm gonna give her a damn painting, okay?
Just making sure. Now he said it, it's real.
No, I got some ill ones though. You just pick which one.
All right, Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you, babe.